Are you planning your first trip to Universal? These are 5 tips you need to know.
Hey everybody, Ben and Ob here, and today we are talking about the top 5 things we wish we knew before we planned our first trip to Universal. Some of the best learning experiences come through some of the most major mistakes.
That's for sure.
And we want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. So today, join us as we dive into our top 5 things we wish we knew.
Learn from our mistakes. Our first tip is if you're flying to Universal Orlando, take an Uber over booking the Superstar Shuttle. Our first trip to Universal, we booked the Superstar Shuttle and we thought we were absolutely crushing it.
We were on top of it. We were ahead of the game and we knew what we were doing.
However, we arrived to Orlando at probably 6 p.m. and we ended up not leaving the airport till probably about 7 or 7:30. And when you're excited and want to get to the parks, you don't want to wait any longer than you have to.
I was not a happy camper waiting on that bus.
Not to mention, the Superstar Shuttle was $39 per person round trip. And an Uber was anywhere from $27 to $30. So the price by the time you get back and forth is probably about equivalent to the Superstar Shuttle.
But you get to leave on your time when your Uber shows up. And you're not sharing the space with anybody else either, which is really nice. Personally, if you're not renting a car, we highly recommend just book an Uber. Like, they get there so quick, they're so timely, and you're not at the mercy of waiting on all the other families that have to gather their stuff and get on that shuttle and then leave when the shuttle driver's ready to leave. It definitely was a learning experience, but hindsight being 2020, it wasn't the best experience, and we've had much better experiences since then using Uber. Tip number 2 for planning your first vacation and things we wish we knew is that you don't have to rush to do it all. The rides aren't going anywhere. I haven't seen any of them get up and leave anytime soon since we've been on our
Maybe 5 or 6 land, but
ooh, good point. Most of the rides aren't going anywhere. Anyway, the first time we went to Universal, we woke up and we hit EPA hard.
early.
And for probably a solid 6 to 8 hours, we went so hard to ride every single ride, do every single thing. I don't think we ate a bite of food aside from maybe a ginger newt between the two of us. We were running on caffeine and adrenaline.
We probably were saying we were hungry for 2 or 3 hours before we finally got something to eat.
We didn't even realize how hungry we were until eventually we sat down at a restaurant, and I think we just scarfed everything because we were famished.
Just go.
And exhausted, and then it made for a really long night after dinner as well. And I'm saying we ate dinner. That was our first meal. Looking back at it, we didn't need to rush at all. We could have had such a leisurely day and enjoyed things in the ambiance and all that is like taking it all in versus being just so focused on go, hit every ride, do everything, we must get it all done. Because we had more time there too. Like, we had a couple days, and you really, when you're going to Universal, if you've got 2-3 days while you're there, you've got plenty of time. You're gonna be good. You do not need to rush to do it all.
We definitely hit the 2 p.m., 3 p.m. blues by that, because we were in the sun, fried, not drinking enough, not eating enough, and we crashed hard at about 3 p.m.
Definitely did. So the rides will still be there. Take your time, enjoy your first day while you're there, but you don't have to do it all. Take your time and enjoy all of it.
Pro tip, take a break during the middle of the day. Go back to your hotel or enjoy some city walk. Just get away from the parks for a little bit in the middle of the day. Our third tip is to utilize mobile food ordering. We probably didn't use...
Props, what do you do?
We probably didn't use mobile food ordering till our second or third time at Universal, and we regret it. It saves you time because you're not waiting in line for food to order your food. It's easy to use, and you probably get your food faster because once you place that you're there or prepare my order, they immediately start preparing. So you get to just buzz up to the front of the line, get your food, sit down, and start eating. It saves you a ton of time. And since we've started using mobile food ordering, we've probably saved hours of our day at the parks.
My favorite thing about mobile food ordering is that I can secretly order some Voodoo Donuts on the mobile food app and show up out of nowhere with a nice pink box to take back to our hotel room. And Ben goes, "What? When did you get that?" You can mobile order Voodoo Donuts and just go grab them when you're out on City Walk and then head back to your hotel for the night, and you have some nice, lovely, fresh donuts to eat either that night or in the morning for breakfast.
Not everywhere has mobile food ordering though, so definitely check what places have it. There are a lot of popular places that have it, particularly in the Wizarding World. The Three Broomsticks and the Leaky Cauldron both definitely have mobile food ordering.
Tip number 4, reservations are wonderful. You don't know how awesome it is to have a reservation at a restaurant until you don't have one and it's a busy night. The very first time we went to Universal, we thought, hey, we'll just get to City Walk that evening, pop on into Margaritaville and grab some volcano nachos.
Wrong.
Yeah. By the way, the volcano nachos, delicious.
Oh.
We got to Margaritaville, I don't know, probably like 7:30. We checked into our room, we wandered on over. We've never been to this place before and don't know where we're going, and like it's just taking it all in. And we got to the restaurant and said, hey, we'd love to come in and have a seat. And they're like, great, we can get you in at 10 p.m. And we were like, what?
I'm hungry now.
I'm pretty sure Ben was talking to the hostess. She was a lovely woman, but I probably would not have been so nice because I was hangry at that point. So instead, we went over to Breadbox, TGIF Breadbox, like
phenomenal.
Yeah, like I don't know what TGIF. But anyway, it's so nice to have that as in your back pocket. But getting reservations at restaurants ahead of time is something that we have really prioritized now on all of our Universal trips. We really pre-plan what our week is, and we really know more often than not probably where we're gonna eat lunch and where we're gonna eat dinner each day, unless we're feeling super flexible and have nothing else to do and don't mind waiting. But to really make sure that you get a table and your food at a time that doesn't make you hangry, get some reservations. And Universal's fantastic about really allowing you to pre-book those.
I don't think you need to be months in advance like we are. Like we tend to really...
We get excited.
We tend to overdo it and book our reservations probably about a month out. But if you booked your reservation a day, maybe 2 days in advance, that's probably plenty of time to get the restaurant that you want at the time you want it.
Put an asterisk though, because if you're looking at Mythos, book that ahead of time.
Mythos can
they can book themselves out quite a ways. So maybe look at a month out at Mythos. Other than that, everything else is probably fine. Probably.
Our 5th and final tip, however, it is a very important tip, is to pack appropriately. Guess who didn't pack enough socks during their first Universal Orlando vacation?
Or underwear.
I didn't quite realize how many socks or pairs of underwear I was really gonna go through in a hot Orlando fall, winter, November, whatever.
Yeah.
It was still hot. So sweat through all my clothes. But pack appropriately. We have a full video on things that we are for sure to pack, so check that video out in the description. But we highly recommend packing multiple outfits per day.
At least 2.
At least 2 outfits per day when you visit Universal, and extra socks. I emphasize.
Yeah.
Extra socks.
It feels so good when you go back to your hotel room to take that midday break, like we've mentioned, and when you're ready to go back to the park, make sure you've got some fresh, nice, not sweaty clothes to put on, and that fresh pair of socks brings new life.
New life.
New life, so you can go and enjoy the evening to the most fun you can have at Universal, all because of one simple thing: new, clean socks. He didn't believe me of like how good it would feel until he did it, and he was like, oh my gosh, like it changes the game. If you're going to Universal during HHN season particularly, bring those extra socks. You're gonna thank yourself. Those are the top 5 things we wish we would have known before our first trip. We really hope it helps you out in planning your first vacation to Universal. For those who have taken a trip to Universal, what's something that you wish you would have known ahead of time? Tell us in the comments. We'd be really interested to see if you ran into the same problems we did, or maybe you have something new that we could learn from, and others. So share in the comments and tell us if you ever ran out of socks like Ben did. Because man, that can't be fun.
If you got anything out of this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stick around for more Universal content. Thanks for watching.
Bye.